Hey everybody, it's Sid here. Welcome back to another Animal Jam video. I hear a lot, and I mean a lot, of people talking about, oh, Play Wild gets updated way more than Classic, and they have so many cool features that Classic just needs. And I see it, I do see it, and I do get why that point is extremely valid. There are also a lot of features on Classic that are just genuine quality of life features that somehow have not gotten added to Play Wild at all, and it's extremely frustrating. The first one, just note that I am doing footage from Classic, so I might have to edit pictures of Play Wild. If not, hopefully my explanations are good enough. So, the first thing I would like to bring to your attention is jamograms. So, on Animal Jam, you can send a jamagram to anybody, at least in Classic. So long as their inbox isn't full and their jamagrams are open for anyone to send to them. For example, I can be like, hey, I want to send a jamagram to this random person. So I could just say AJ Classic Rocks, and I send it to them. Bada bing, bada boom, it's all sent. So, in Play Wild, it's a bit different because just says AJ Rocks, yep. So for Play Wild, it's a bit different because you can only send jamagrams to your buddies. And I understand why. You want private communication with your buddies. That's really cool. And yes, in Classic, you can also close your jamagrams to where only buddies can send it. But that's the thing. You get the option. In Play Wild, there is no option. You have buddies or no jamagrams at all. And this is very, very, very frustrating. For example, if I wanted to send a jamagram to somebody who made a really good masterpiece or a master track, wanting to appreciate their art, I can't do that. Or if I want to say, hey, I want to send a gift, you can't do that. Because you can't ask them, hey, when are you going to be on for me to give you the gift? You can't be like, oh, I like your art. It's very annoying. And the only way you could do it is by basically gambling every time you're on for that person to also be on. It's very annoying because if I want to do that, I either have to be in the game all day and then stalk them, which I don't think would be that, I don't think it would be that good for that other person to just be stalked, only for them to be like, hey, I think your art's good. Bye. I just really think it would add a more community to the game if you could have at least some feature. And it makes it even worse with Play Wild because you don't even have things like jammer walls. Jammer walls are another way to talk to people when they're offline, albeit it is shown publicly. If it can add that, at least, to the game, then I think it would be much, much better when it comes to talking to non-buddies or asking people to, hey, can you buddy me? Your buddies are off. I just wanted to ask if you want to buddy me. And actually, with the whole jamagram thing, I just realized that jammer walls would be so much more useful in Play Wild, seeing how you can only send jamagrams to buddies. So maybe just add that, and it would solve a lot of problems. The next thing I want to talk about, oh my god, minions. The next thing I want to talk about, let me just mosey onto the diamond shop, is dens. So, Play Wild has a lot of dens to choose from. If you can think of a niche, they have a den for that. Maybe even 2 dens. Maybe even 2 dens that are being sold concurrently. And this is another thing that frustrates me about Play Wild over Classic. In Classic, if you just click this, you can have a preview section. This started a few years ago, so if I wanted to just see what the den looked like before I bought it, I can just do that, and I can explore the nooks and crannies, so I know everywhere I need to decorate before I decorate it, and before I even buy it. If I realize, hey, I think this Pex den is a bit too big, I can just go back, and I can buy the smaller version, which is the Enchanted Hollow. In Play Wild, you can't do that. I actually have an older video out called Sid's Rockstar Den, and in it, I got the rock venue, and I had no idea that there was a hidden stage. I didn't know that until I was showing off the things, so I looked like an idiot. It would also be good for people to just see if the den works for them. If they don't like the layout of a den, they could just buy another one that fills the same niche. The next feature is about buying animals. So if I wanted to buy a new animal, and I could only choose from the animals that were there, actually at the diamond shop, I'd have the boom, boom. But if I switch an animal and want to add one, I get all these. Of course, I also get the gem animals. But you can see there's a lot of animals here that aren't available in the diamond shop. And this is because Classic has a feature to where if you buy an animal, you can get another one no matter what, even if they are traveling, because you made the transaction to get an animal. They also make it so after you buy an animal for diamonds, the premium currency in this game, you can get them again, but for gems, because you already paid the diamonds. I think this is very considerate for Gemmer, especially back in the day when diamonds were very hard to get. If I wanted 2 waters, yeah, I'll just rather pay 1,000 gems for the next one. I already did the diamonds. You already got the money that I paid to get those 10 diamonds. But on Play Wild, you can't do that. On Play Wild, you get an animal for 150 sapphires, and you have to pay 150 more if you want to get it again. You also can't get it when they leave stores. This makes it very hard. For example, my main look on Animal Jam is a Siamese cat, and before I made the look that I have on it now primarily, I had a nice little witch look that I actually based on my own cat Ren. However, once I changed it to my main look, I was like, okay, I'll just get another one and do the Ren look. But I couldn't do that because Siamese cats had already left the stores. And I couldn't do that, and I couldn't get a new one. And it hurt. I also wish I could get another raccoon in the game, but I can't do that. And the only way to do that was to pay money to get the Fab 5 token, which I did not do. So you almost get the non-member treatment, having to go back and forth between looks of the animals you already have. Even if they do add the you can buy an animal that you already bought, even if they're out feature, and did not add the one where after you bought an animal you can get it for gems, I'd still be happy with it. I'd rather pay another 150 sapphires for a new Siamese cat than not get another Siamese cat. Speaking of animals, I do wish that Animal Jam would add more animals back to the game. It is really cool that we get a new animal every month, but it's also frustrating that once they're gone, they're basically gone forever. That is why they did the Fab 5 token, but it would be really cool if we were able to just get a new animal back every once in a while. They did it for raccoons, and they did it for another animal like last year. I forgot which one it was. I just think it would be really nice, especially since a lot of people are joining that don't even know those animals exist. I bet you the average player who joined in 2023 doesn't know that gorillas are in the game. They probably don't know that iwipigas are in the game. And it's kind of a shame that all that coding for those animals effectively goes to waste after a bit. There might be one day when no one who is playing the game was around when a certain animal was released, and they'd have no idea of their existence. And that is sad. The next thing involves me going to the summer carnival. Boop, boop, boop. I would cut, but it's very easy. Okay, so this one is summer carnival things. So I joined Play Wild in 2016, and at that point, I had been playing Animal Jam for years. I believe I was there when the first ever summer carnival was added to Classic, which makes me officially old. But I was really excited when Play Wild did it. And imagine to my surprise when my favorite game, Candy Catch, was not adapted. Now, I know quite a bit of things. And I know that Play Wild, sometimes at the time when it was basically just 3D Animal Jam and not having a lot of its own things like crafting crystals and all that, I knew that it would take a while for them to port it, especially in the early days. Heck, a few months before they added a Pondale, I was expecting them to have a whole summer carnival laid out. But they didn't, so I was like, okay, maybe next year. Nope. Nope. There are games that exist in Classic that don't exist in Play Wild, in the Summer Carnival at least, and it's a shame. And Play Wild doesn't really have their own exclusive Summer Carnival games either. It's kind of sad, really. It would be really nice to see what Candy Catch would look like. And I think Dunk of Phantom isn't there either, if I remember correctly. Speaking of which, games. There are so many games that are really fun in Classic, and not that many in Play Wild. Even Play Wild has a lot of their own original ideas for games, like Pet Best Dressed, A Puppy's Tale, Jumbled Up, Escape the Phantoms, all these really fun iconic games. It would still be really cool to see adapted versions of Animal Jam Classic games, and see more game icons around Jamal. It would definitely help people stay in the game and not get as bored as easily. That's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.